Hi guys, my name's Nadine, welcome to my channel and welcome to my July reading wrap up. So I completed 5 books in the month of July, a couple for Jane Austen July and then a few others. So the first book then that I read was Exit Strategy by Martha Wells. This is number 4 in the Murderbot Diaries. As you guys know, if you've been watching my channel lately, I am loving this series. So in this one, Dr. Mensah, Murderbot's former owner, sort of friend, is in danger. She's been kidnapped. And this annoys Murderbot, so they decide to take action. They're going off to save her. And in the meantime, to try and gather evidence against Grey Chris, the evil corporation that's been putting colonists' lives in danger. Yeah, it was full of action as always, full of snarky humour. I'm loving the humour of Murderbot and I'm really enjoying the sort of evolution of Murderbot. So, you know, the fact that she's finding, well, they are finding that they're starting to care more about the humans that are good to them. So yeah, really enjoying that one. I have started the next book in the series, which is a lot bigger than the previous ones. So yeah, I've heard that this one's not the best. We'll see. The next book then that I finished was Agatha Raisin and The Day the Floods Came. You know, my monthly Agatha Raisin by MC Beaton. So this one starts out with Agatha very lonely and depressed. James Lacey has left her for God. Sir Charles Frayth has suddenly and without any kind of warning at all gotten married and didn't even tell Agatha about it. She read about it in the newspaper, so she's heartbroken. Did she read about it in the newspaper or did he just turn up? I can't remember, one or the other. So yeah, feeling miserable, she decides to go travelling and she wants to just get away completely, and she goes off to this remote island in the South Pacific and there finds that she makes friends very easily and she has a lovely time. Then when she comes back to the Cotswolds, she decides, right, getting on with my life, and she takes up Pilates and all of that kind of stuff, and then she finds a dead body. Somebody that is in her Pilates class has been murdered and Agatha finds her floating down the river in her wedding dress, clutching a bouquet of flowers. The police think it's suicide, but Agatha suspects otherwise, drawing on sort of things that she'd noticed about other people and their behaviours while she was away in the South Pacific, and something that parallels with this woman here as well. So yeah, Agatha decides to investigate herself, seeing as the police just obviously haven't got a clue. She's got a new neighbour, a hunky writer, who comes along for the ride. I did enjoy this one, but I'm finding that I'm not loving MC Beaton's writing of male characters. It's starting to get a bit samey. This new author neighbour could easily just be James Lacey, in my opinion. It's pretty much the same person, just with a different name. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. See if it develops any further. But I was trying to think of other male characters in the Agatha Raisin series that I like, and there aren't that many that aren't love interests. There's Roy Silver, who is a bit more fun to read, but I don't know if it makes a difference that he's a gay man, that he's written a bit differently. I don't know. But yeah, I think I would like to try one of the Hamish Macbeth books soon and see how it compares. Because obviously the main character in that is a man, so see if he's just a bit more likeable. Everybody in the Agatha Raisin ones, all the men, the heterosexual men at least, seem very aloof. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, that's getting a little bit samey for me. Next then, I finished Dissolution by by C.J. Sansom. This is book 1 in the Shard Lake series. So this is set in 1530s England, which was a time of huge upheaval. There are commissioners that work for Thomas Cromwell, and they're sent through all of the monasteries in England to investigate them with the aim of sort of shutting them down and taking all of the riches. Now in this one monastery in Scansey, in like, I think it was like the Sussex coast, the commissioner that has been sent there was found murdered, brutally beheaded. And so Cromwell sends Matthew Shardlake, who is a lawyer and a loyal reformer, to go and investigate the murder and to continue basically that commissioner's job whilst he's there, of investigating that monastery and getting it shut down. Shardlake goes off with his friend, who is called something. I can't remember his name. But he goes off with the guy who he lives with, essentially, to investigate, and through this investigation he also begins to question some of his own beliefs. I really loved this book. It was very, very atmospheric. The environment in this monastery, it was really claustrophobic, sort of dark and dismal, and yeah, it was fantastic. And I really, really liked the character of Shardlake, so I'm definitely continuing with that series. Next then, I finished Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. This follows the Dashwood sisters, Marianne and Eleanor, both of which are given the prospect of love, and they both deal with it very differently. So Marianne falls in love with Willoughby, who is very, very not good for her, really, and there's a lot of gossip around them, and Eleanor warns her against him, but yeah, she doesn't listen. And Eleanor is in love with somebody else, and that doesn't go so well for a long time. So it's about falling in love, it's about money, it's always about money, and how they deal with it, and that they need sort of a mix of both sense and sensibility to sort of navigate this world. I gave it 5 stars, I think. It's been a long, long time since I read this, and it was lovely to dip back in. Then after that I read Sanditon and the Watsons and Lady Susan. I enjoyed this overall. I think I liked Lady Susan possibly the most. It's about this sort of very coquettish, not very nice woman, really, just out for what she can get. And that includes with her daughter, who she doesn't hold in very, very high regard and with very little love. But I think ultimately with any of these ones, I just very much had to bear in mind the fact of what they are, which are early drafts of unfinished novels. So they weren't the best, but they weren't the worst. I'm glad that I finally read it, because I've been meaning to get to this for years. So yeah, overall, definitely worth a read, especially if you've already read everything else that Austen has written. But yeah, just bear in mind what it actually is. So yeah, those were the 5 books that I read in the month of July. I think overall it was a really, really good reading month. I was happy with the things that I read, and now very, very excited to start my August reading, which I've already done. So yeah, that is it. Let me know if you've read any of these in the comments down below. Let's have a chat, and I will catch you very soon. Bye!